and welcome to another Kemetic Byte. I'm your host, Sharon. I am back with some updates, and I'm going to start off with some of your comments from the last video. First of all, thank you so much. Thanks for all the love and the support that you guys have shared, and that really means a lot to us. And just put your arms around yourself right now. Give yourself a hug. That's me giving you a hug virtually until I can come and give you a hug in person somewhere. And actually, if you can make it to Hot Springs, Arkansas this October, you might be able to get that because I will be a featured speaker at Arkansas Pagan Pride Day. It's October 26th. That's a Saturday. And it's at, I believe it's Energy Park. It's a park in Hot Springs. Shouldn't be too hard to find. Look for me, and I'll look for you. Also, a couple of you guys suggested that I set up a Patreon account for the Kemetic Independent channel, and I could do that. I just want to get a little feedback from you guys. What kinds of rewards, what kinds of things would you like to get, and what kind of pay tier should I set up for that for the rewards? I'm sure outtakes are going to be one of the things that I put together, you know, for something like that, because occasionally we do get some weird ones, especially when Darren gets in on the videos. So give me some feedback. Let me know in the comments, you know, what kinds of things you'd like to see for that. Also, I've been responding to comments, and I've told several of you will message me, you know, so we're not blasting across YouTube, you know, where somebody lives or, you know, private question you might have. Unfortunately, YouTube messaging is going away this month, just when I had made that suggestion. So here's a different way to do it. If you'll email me at contact@kemeticreform.org and give me all of your private questions and, you know, hey, this is where I'm at, you know, do you ever come this way, you know, that kind of thing, then I'll be able to read that, and, you know, we won't be sharing it with all and sundry. And yes, the Kemetic Reform website, it is there, and it's been under construction for a couple of years. It's not quite as bad as the Olympic Stadium in Akira, but some days I feel like it's kind of close. But I also want to give a shout out to a fellow religious tradition, the Shrine of the Irish Oak. They're also based in Arkansas, and they were kind enough to give us a little bit of support, so I'm giving them a shout out. They have a YouTube channel. I'll put a link in the description. Also, they have a book, Shrine of the Irish Oak, the complete book of Celto-Roman rituals. You can look for that online. It says Celto-Roman because this tradition is a blend of Celtic, Roman, and Egyptian Reconstructionism, which sounds pretty eclectic, but the tack that they take is the Roman Empire was very eclectic when you consider that it stretched all the way from the British Isles, bless you, Darren, all the way to the westernmost reaches of India. So you had all sorts of things, you know, that, you know, could have come in contact with each other. So give them a try. That's related to one of the questions that I got. I've been reading through your comments and collecting, and see, in Hollywood they call this going on book. Topic requests here. One of them is other Reconstructionist paths. And so you can get a little bit about the Celtic and Roman, you know, by checking out their channel. Hellenistic was one of the things that you guys mentioned. I'm not as familiar with the Hellenistic part. I have a friend here in town who's Roman Recon, and so I know a little bit about that from him. And I've been trying to learn a little more about Canaanite and Sumerian Reconstructionism. By the way, one thing I can tell you about that, if you go look it up on Wikipedia, that topic's been kind of hijacked lately. There's this group in Iceland you might have heard about. It's called Zooism. Think the flying spaghetti monster religion, but with a money shtick going on. And so they've done that, and they've kind of wiped out all the references to a bunch of other Mesopotamian Reconstructionist groups that are out there, and they're like, hey, we're here, you know, don't like, you know, whitewash us over. So if you want to go look up Temple of Sumer, Google that, and you'll find a whole bunch of neat stuff. Other topics have included the days upon the year, review of Hermetic texts, so I'm going to be looking up the Emerald Tablet and some things like that. And somebody asked about doing Egyptian games. It's funny you mention that, because that's something that I've been wanting to do, is a how-to video on playing Senet. And if you'll hang in there with me, come October, I'll have a little bit of assistance, hopefully, from a friend who will be just getting done with a gig at EA Games. So we'll get him in on it, and Darren, and we'll do a gaming video on playing Senet. So
to the death.
Yes, thank you, Darren. So anyway, as for the donations, again, thank you so much to everyone who's donated. Through the kindness of you, my viewers, we have put together $380, which, you know, several of you guys asked, what I'm giving you, don't put any of it to the church, use that for you. And thank you so much, that's been so sweet, and we're going to honor that. But, you know, we're not quite out of the woods yet. You know, we thank you for saying that, because we really have needed, you know, what you've given us. And I'll let Darren fill in more about where we're at in that regard.
Hi guys, hi friends and family. Thanks so much for letting me be nosy and be part of this again. And let me take a minute to say thank you for everything you guys have done and every kind word you've sent. And as Sharon mentioned, so far we've raised a little over $300. Thank you for that. That helps. I just wanted to say that I am still looking for work. I'm still trying to apply for disability as a safety net. I found out, unfortunately, the local office lost my paperwork, so I'm going to have to go sit down in person and fill out the entire mess one more time.
Yeah, and
hopefully I'll get something out of that.
Yeah.
Now, I realize a lot of you guys watching this may be on disability of one form or another. If I'm successful in establishing disability and being able to reacquire gainful employment, I'm going to do you guys the favor of keeping you guys posted and letting you know what I've learned. That way, if you ever said I'd like to give employment a shot without blowing my benefits or putting myself at risk, you can say you know somebody who's been there along the way. Because I want to see us all in a better place and all able to support ourselves better than we're doing now.
Yeah.
And I just wanted to say thanks again.
As Darren mentioned, you know, we're not out of the woods yet. We're working on this, and it's going to be a slow process. So if you could just please, you know, if you've got something that you can donate, you know, paypal.me/Sharon Laborde, I'll give you the link. And another thing that I wanted to mention, I can't go to my family for help on things like this, and I've kind of mentioned them in a couple of videos before, especially when I talked about, you know, my story, my autobiography, and I'm sure a lot of you could relate to this. You know, my parents basically think that I'm a dreamer who's wasting her life with some crippled guy and, you know, never going to amount to anything, and, you know, so, you know, that's, you know, another story for another day, I guess, but I know a lot of you have had to deal with things like that for other reasons, be it because, you know, you're LGBTQ, you know, or even being pagan sometimes. You know, I've known people that were, you know, thrown out or told they were going to hell for things like that. So, you know, our birth families may not, you know, be willing to support us the way they really should, but, you know, we're here, we're family. I love you guys, thank you so much. And I want to say thank you to all of you who've contributed. One of the ways I want to do that is, if you've donated something to me, I'm going to contact you privately and ask for a mailing address so that I can send you copies of the newsletter that I've been working on. I started it last year, so we've got 5 issues now, and I've have all the originals. I can make copies of all the back issues, and it's black and white. It's not like I'm publishing a big magazine or something. But I want to send them to you, so be looking for an email from the Kemetic Reform address. And also, I recently got a request to do a private ceremony for somebody who had a death in the family, and I was happy to do that. So I took some pictures of it. They said it was okay to share that. And if you've got a request for something like that, tell me. Message me. If you donate something to me and you have a prayer request or something like that, include that in the note, and I'll do that for you. I'm going to try and start doing some live broadcasts, and maybe we can make this a regular thing. If you want something done, give me a note about whether it's okay to use your real name or your screen name on air, or if it's okay for me to say it, or if you want to just remain anonymous, because some people might want to do that. But I figure you're supporting me. It's the least I can do for you is give you guys some love, some vibes, some prayers, and the better that we get, Darren and I, the more that we can do to help the rest of you guys and keep making more videos. So there's actually a topic that somebody requested 2 years ago on dealing with negative energies and dispelling negativity. And I actually have that scripted, and funny thing, I've been having to deal with a lot of negative energy myself. So that's why I haven't gotten to it yet. But that's next up, the next video that I do. And, hopefully that's something that can be, help for all of us. So once again, thank you. If you've got something that you can, send our way this month, please do. And, we'll keep this thing going.
$1 each makes a big difference.
There you go. Yeah, Darren's just off camera now, so
Love
yeah.
you guys.
Yeah. So let's keep this thing going. Love you guys. This is Sharon with the Kemetic Bytes and the Kemetic Independent channel, wishing you Senebti. Do you have a question about Egyptian paganism? Share it in the comments section, and it could be the topic of the next Kemetic Byte. Don't forget to subscribe, and check the video description for more ways to support the Kemetic Independent channel.